What's going on, y'all? Back here with a new damn video. You know what time it is. Let's go Birds, baby! It's the NFC Championship game. Eagles versus Vikings. Hell, I can't wait. I've been in anticipation all week long. I've been nervous. I wouldn't say scared, you know, because let's put it this way. When this season started, I didn't expect the team to make it this far. And for them to already exceed my expectations is a wow to me. And for them to go into the playoffs last week, and I said they could win that game. For them to go in, say with Nick Foles, if we lose this game, I will be upset. Don't worry, it's an NFC Championship game. You're 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl berth. You're 60 minutes away from this team making their third Super Bowl and possibly winning it. Okay? And you're 2 games away from it all being done. Now, this is what I'll say. I am very nervous, of course. You know, leading up to the game time, you're nervous, you're pumped up, you got your juices flowing. You're feeling real shaky. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my God, I can't wait. But if we lose, my expectations are not that high. Because I told you, because Nick Foles now, like if I said before, if Carson Wentz was still in a quarterback and we lose this game with Carson Wentz at quarterback, oh, I'm raising hell. I mean, man, I would be insane. I would be livid, okay, if they lost this game with Carson Wentz at quarterback. But since Nick Foles is there, I'm like, okay, if they lose, man, I'm just proud of this team. They made it this far, okay? This Eagles team this season I've seen is finally the team that all of us Eagles fans were waiting for. You know why I say that? This team actually has heart. They actually have passion, character, and they actually play as one. They have all the traits that Philadelphia fans are. We're just like that. We have passion, character, heart, everything. Toughness. And this team is that. I've seen seasons where this team just quits, gives up, whatever. I understand the Eagles, if they win the Super Bowl, then this makes more sense to some people. But to the Philly natives and to the people who are actually Eagles fans that have been here year in, year out, they understand what I'm saying. You watch the Chip Kelly regime. This team, they got down in the lead. They hang their head. Or this and that. You see guys like Maxwell we signed to big contracts. He hangs his head. He gets burnt. He's giggling and laughing. We don't like that type of shit. And you know what? This football team lost Jason Peters, a Hall of Fame left tackle. They lost Sproles. They lost Hicks. And they lost the MVP of the NFL. Yeah, you heard me. The MVP of the NFL. And a top 5 quarterback, Carson Wentz. And this team didn't give up. They said, hell nah. Defense, Doug Peterson, defense, lead our asses. Offense, we'll struggle. We'll get by. We'll put up some points. But you lead our asses. And that's what happened so far this season. So I'm pumped up for this game, but let's get down to the game. I look at the Vikings, you know, and what do I see? The same exact team as ours. Backup quarterback. I'll put it this way. Case Keenum is having a way better year. Nick Foles is not even comparable to Case Keenum, but it's a comparable situation as they are both backups coming in for an injured quarterback, filling in, okay? They both have great fronts, defensive fronts. They have a great secondary. We have a solid secondary. We have 2 good safety, we have 1 great safety, okay safety, and corners that are okay, but they're manageable. They have an elite secondary, all right? Now, that's why this team's so comparable in my opinion. Same record, only difference is we have the number 1 seed, they have the number 2 seed, same kind of D-line, all that, the pressure they can get, etc., etc., etc. Now, the only thing I would say it's different from their team and ours is, yes, they might have better receivers, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, two of the best receivers in the league. Adam Thielen's so underrated, it's ridiculous. And both those receivers are the best at contested catches in the league. I'm talking about like where he throws up 50-50 balls, they make these catches. I've seen the stats. I mean, that's insane. But what we're better at than them is offensive line. We have all-pro center, all-pro, you know, guard, right tackle, and left tackle I thought would be a big issue with we lost Jason Peters. I'll tell you what, Big V has filled in pretty damn well so far, all right? That's our only, you know, that's the only thing we got. We say, okay, we have a better O-line than you. But everything else is almost matchable, literally. Besides Case's play at quarterback. Case has been playing better than Nick Foles, even though I think they're both like kind of the same quarterback. But let's just get down to the game plan, in my opinion. This is what needs to happen in this game, okay? Now look, Nick Foles, it's going to be a tough time passing on this defense. Even if you had Wentz out there. Wentz, I believe we do, you know, whatever, better. But it'd still be tough, you know. I will say this. You can beat them. I think one game, a quarterback only passed for 179 yards on them, and they won the game. I guess they must have ran it a lot, played good defense, whoever they faced, whatever. But let's just get right. Let's just put it this way. All right. This is a game, in my opinion, on offense. This is a Nelson Aguilar game. This is a Nelson Aguilar game. Okay. It's him either versus Terrence Newman, or they're saying Mackenzie Alexander. Now, if you watch Mackenzie Alexander, if I'm saying his name correctly, I just call him Mac Alexander because Mac is short for Mackenzie, whatever the hell. You watch that last drive versus the Saints, okay, with them. He was getting torn up, okay? He was getting hit a lot. He was getting targeted a lot on that drive. Yeah, I know it's Drew Brees throwing the football. I get it. It's way different than Nick Foles. It's a Hall of Fame quarterback throwing the ball. But still, and Nelson Aguilar is better than, say, Willie Snead or someone like that. He's way more shifty. He has way more speed. This is the type of game for him. They need to look for Nick Foles. When they do the RPO, they need to look for Nick Foles and hit him. Bang, 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 bang. Alshon has a history of tearing up the Vikings. Now, they have better corners. He's probably going to verse Xavier Rhodes. I would just stay far away from him. I would attack Terry Newman. And Mackenzie Alexander, I would attack the most. Let's put it that way. This is a Nelson Aguilar game. We need him to break one. We need him to break one if he can. Those safeties are good. They're probably going to give Mac, and they're probably going to give Newman help. Okay, let's just put it that way. All right. We need to run the ball as best as we can with Jay Ajayi and such and such. I actually have some stats written here that, okay, Jay Ajayi's in the first half, Jay Ajayi touched the ball 8 times. 8 times he touched the ball, okay? He had 7.1 yards per carry or per whatever, just 7.8 yards, whether it's touches, 8 touches in total, whether it was catch or rush. He had 7.8 yards, right? The rest of the game, he only got 10 touches the rest of the game. And know what happened? The rest of those 10 touches, he only averaged 3.9 yards a game. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. Yes, the defense at the second half or whatever, they started attacking our run game and stopping the run or doing this. But this is the problem. It's either that or it's because we took Jay Ajayi out and did, we're doing the snap count now. We're switching running back, switching, rotating. But that stat is alarming. He averaged 7.1 yards. 7.8 yards a touch. You take him out, and then you only give him 10 the rest of the game, he averages 3.9. He's the type of guy, he needs the touches, needs to keep him consistently on the field, moving. So if you decide to run Blunt for the first 5 plays and then Clement a little bit, Jolly the rest of the way. But Clement, I want him try some things with him against Kendricks, like the Saints did with, what's his name? Alvin Kamara, okay? How they flanked him out there. Even though Alvin Kamara is way better than Corey Clement, I get it, okay? But I'm just saying, him against Eric Kendricks, Michael Kendrick's brother, we can probably get some mismatches on that, okay? Nick Foles, we're doing the RPOs. He's been getting the ball out in 2.2 seconds. That's pretty crazy. So we need to get fast ball out of his hand because they're going to try to pressure it and blitzing him. Now, this is our objective on defense. We need to just get after Case Keenum. Just simple. Just plain and simple. Get after him, okay? I watched that Saints game, okay, and this is all I got to say. You pressure him, he's done. First half, he looked pretty damn good. He looked great, in my opinion. Second half, they actually started pressuring him, and they were only bringing 3- and 4-man rushes. They were getting through that line. They were getting through the offensive line, and you've seen what happens when you pressure. Yes, he can make plays when he's rolling out, but you see how he's stepping in and then rolling here, rolling there. If you keep him in the pocket and you bring pressure, I've seen a throw. It was a great throw, don't get me wrong, but it was a lollipop where he was falling like this off one foot, about to get pressured, so he just threw it up, and Adam Thielen, once again, contested catches, made a great catch, okay? You need to pressure Case Keenum and pressure him big time, okay? Now, some of those throws he made, he's not going to make those up in Philly. And the reason I say that is because of the weather. I don't know if it's going to be cold. They say maybe 30s by the time game time comes around. It's going to be 50 in daytime. But the cold weather, outdoors, you don't throw those beauties like you do inside a dome. You're throwing outdoor weathers. That ball, if it's cold out, that ball is like throwing a fucking rock. It's like throwing a brick, okay? He's not going to, it's just not going to be the same. We need to pressure him, all right? This is the best defense I think the Saints have, this is the best defense the Vikings have faced all year, okay, in my opinion. And our front, as I said, is better than the Saints. The Saints tried to pressure Case Keenum. He was getting passes off, but he was throwing off his back foot, falling this way, and you've seen he just looked a little shaky underneath the lights, underneath the pressure, okay? Now, don't go on the head of that game-winning whatever, but I'm talking about the second half in general. You just watch some of the plays and go, wow. And our defense, we blitz. We bring the heat. You know what I mean? Now, with their receivers, that's a whole other story. We'll see what we can do with that. But all I got to say is we could definitely contain the run. Watch out for, what's his name? Jared McKinnon. beast out the damn backfield, can catch, he can run, etc., etc., etc. But it's Case Keenum. We got to get after him. We got to fold him like a lawn chair. Okay? And I know they're thinking the same thing about Nick Foles. We got to fold him like a lawn chair. But I'll tell you what, that's the keys to victory. All right? Now, another thing that should be in our favor is that the Vikings had that great come-behind win, whatever, that last-minute catch for the Vikings. That, to me, was like, wow, that's insane. That play was insane to me. Okay, that was one of the best plays in playoff history, maybe NFL history, game on the line, etc., etc. They're riding that wave so much. You know, I seen the media talk to Case Keenum this week, and he said the three things in life, this was his third best moment in life. 1 was finding God, 2 was marrying his wife, and 3 was this. Okay? And he's riding that wave and that emotion from that game. That's going to call for maybe a fall off. You never know. And I looked at a stat. The last 5 times a team in the playoffs has had a walk-off touchdown, the next game they have lost. The Vikings could break the trend. Anything can happen. It's NFL. It's not just stats, statistics, and that. But I'm just saying that could play a factor. And also, they have a lot of pressure on them because the Super Bowl is in Minnesota. A lot of pressure on them. They have the ball in their court. They want to go. They want to get this win and go back to Minnesota and host a Super Bowl in Minnesota. So they got a lot of pressure on them. Okay. Plus, they got to play in Philly. The weather. The Eagles team's pissed off because we're underdogs once again. Okay. And I know the Vikings are smelling themselves a little bit. I know they are. I know they're sitting there going, Nick Foles? I know they're hearing the media say, all you got to do is beat Nick Foles. All you got to do is just beat Nick Foles, and you're in the Super Bowl. I know they're hearing that, the Vikings. And I think that might get into their head. I hope it does. Unless Mike Zimmer, who I think is one hell of a damn coach, might be coach of the year. I think Doug Peterson is personally, but he's one hell of a damn coach. Respect the hell out of him, okay? He might be getting their asses in check, so I don't know anything about that. But look, let's go Birds. Let's enjoy the week. I'll probably be back here later this week with another video. I'm just pumped up. NFC title game, dog. This is going to be crazy. In Philly, it's been a long time. First time in Philly, NFC Championship game since, what, 05? But the first time we've been back in the NFC Championship since 08? Just enjoy it, man. I'll be back here later this week. Let's go Birds, baby. Let's just get this W. We're 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl berth with Nick Foles at quarterback. How can you not tell me that Doug Peterson isn't coach of the year? Let's go Birds.